in the next 20 years is who has more genius, who has more ideas, who has more connection to innovation, who is more in advancement in a way, has more community support. Of course, that every sign can work in the negative side as well. The negative side of Taurus is staying in one place for a long time. People get comfortable very quickly and not moving. And what they did to us, all those control structures, use this comfort energy, let people taking more loan, taking more mortgages, to buy more what they need, what they feel. And now we are all slaves of them. In Aquarius, they will tell you, you don't need to have nothing, it's all air. And you will be happy. Of course, will involve technology, how we are doing projects online, how we are starting to create the structure of community. But Pluto will finish Capricorn until officially 2024. So all this period of time, between now 2021, we are January, to the middle of 2023, is a plan that must be accomplished. And you need to be prepared to the hardcore Aquarius realm. Because when Pluto will enter to Aquarius, it's already need to work on different rules. This is a shift of value. Uranus is in Taurus. Shift of value. We need to start moving out from the concept of the USD. The USD was programmed for so many years and structured, and this is collapsing. And now I will speak about the juicy part of what people like to hear in those videos. What will happen with the market? I'll tell you. Even that, I'll take you directly to peaks without showing you any dynamic, because nothing is going in straight line, and markets will do in between the timing and the prices that I'm going to indicate a lot of important moves that for weeks, and some innocent traders or beginners could lose. First of all, we need to understand that the dollar is collapsing. And when the dollar is collapsing, people that are in cash, in the Taurus mentality of the last 20 years and before, are not feeling change, because still pizza is costing the same in a way, but are declining without noticing. Because on the same time, to what I'm seeing the market going to do, wow. Inflation, big time. Let me organize it, because I'm going to pass on few indices here. The S&P, as I'm watching 6 months ahead, is going higher. And it's going to 4,500 in few months from here. It may continue. It may continue, but I'm not seeing further after June for now. But cryptocurrency, let's speak about Bitcoin. Not just is going toward until June, until the beginning of the summer, until the level of $75,000. I challenge my method and try to stretch my prediction very generally without showing the dynamic. And we are in bull market, bull cycle that will last until middle of 2023. 23. And what is happening there? The first time that Pluto entering to Aquarius still will pass in the last part of 2023 on retro and officially on 2024. But this will be the peak and the infrastructure. This is an infrastructure here that is happening. In other words, people that having even one bit, even two, consider to be millionaires already in what I'm saying. Because into the middle of 2023, I can see Bitcoin in $250,000 250 area, thousand. Realizing it? In this year, already by the first half, we may see the 70,000 and a bit more.
And I wonder if Simpson's correct again? How expensive are going to be the water? And it's all connected. Look what in the picture behind them, the nuclear powers. Very interesting. This is a new world order. And the more I hear coming back to normal with so many people that are right now on Earth, the more I worry, honestly. Because if it seems that right now with Jupiter in Aquarius, in this April, government must to end the crisis of the corona we met so far. They still will push it into the control and the narrative they brought to take extra control on people. But in the backside of all this story, the controllers resetted the economy, purchased a lot of digital currencies that they condemned for long years already. People didn't understand what's going on, trying to survive with the fear. And a lot of people remain behind. And now when they want to participate, it seems to many people like late. All destruction. So now it seems that they are going to open us, like giving to people the freedom. Instead of people feeling that they achieved the freedom alone, they will enable this freedom until the next opportunity. Somehow it's coming to my mind that I see in few years like people hiding in the caves, far from everything. I don't know what sort of reality we are going to face. Maybe even just to escape from whatever AI control on water, control on whatever. I don't know. So in March 2022, here you see Jupiter and Pluto. Jupiter and Neptune. And Mercury will come around by March in Pisces. And will be very much on the area where the explosion energetically provoked this event in Fukushima. So it could also happen in another place and not specifically there. It's just introduction of what sort of event happened under such energies. Usually the events will not repeat on the same location. I do worry from the Middle East. And here is Iran in March 2022. The same transits, but Jupiter and Neptune will meet on Uranus of Iran, that is 22 degrees.
What Scorpio is ruling? Dark plans, destruction, change, transformation, out of the comfort zone. Because this full moon in Scorpio is a culmination of what started in the end of October 2020, beginning of November. And we all know what happened with all the reptilians that I always repeated beneath us, above us, and the corruption of the election, or whatever we could add to this equation. We must take in mind that in the way we can get punished. And sometimes, and this is what the full moon in Scorpio is reminding us, that we cannot always travel with insurance. We could not insure everything, Taurus. We need to take risk. This is the Scorpio. Because crime is happening on us, in front of our face. They are stealing us in a legal way. We all were punished as society in the last year and a half. People with the money, not with the money, felt poor because they could not access the same services that they are using. They could not use the money they had for going to restaurants, for traveling, for taking first class taxi, Uber, whatever, needed to stay in the same lines with a mask on their face. It definitely can be related also to what started in November. Also, the crypto rally started in November, and the crypto is related to Scorpio, all the hidden. things, the invisible values. Like even gold, when we saw gold manipulated big time from last November, right?
Anarchism. What anarchism means for you? Chaos, breaking the rules, people breaking the streets and not caring on each other, civil war, hate. Sometimes we are so confused between love and hate, between freedom and control. When we're going back to astrology, Uranus is the ruler of the people. It can create anarchism when each individual follows the source of his higher self without considering the order that is artificial order ruled by Saturn. This is a certain balance that should be maintained. We need government, but that is doing what people want. But when people become so sheeple and so dependent to remain with clean hands, sitting on the sofa, paying the bills to watch Netflix, it's not anymore sovereignty. It's going to be so obvious. And it's already with a trailer of the crisis that just started in 2020 with a corona as shutting off the party that was so dirty party so far until 2019. And suddenly the rulers we were and still depending on so far gave us new rules how to be cleaner, how to keep on distance, how to stay in our place, and suddenly creating a sort of a new order, organizing us to be able to track us, each one in his own coordinates, before the rest plan to be initiated. See what's happening in Israel. The main example how little country, the high-tech empire, succeeded to vaccinate all its population. And for the first time, since 1 month ago, and not to be the only one because we saw already it's happening in other countries, allowed to go without a mask in public places. And now they are speaking just a week ago before the rockets on the air that is possible to go. It will be possible from next week without mask in closed places because the cases are very low. It's also very low in Portugal. And not everybody are vaccinated, even less than 30%. And it's very low in other countries. In Serbia, people are refusing to obey to the rules because they are thinking. They experienced wars in life. They saw what real risk is in life. And fear from getting sick is not the case. They are strong. And people are dying anyhow as part of the nature as every year. Not just because of COVID or flu. You want to take care of your health? Eat healthy. Avoid sugar. Avoid stress. Improve your life in many other ways. It's not just COVID in life. And suddenly what we are seeing in Israel after all the world's eyes looking on this little country to be successful, suddenly the demons come out from the cages. And what's the Israelis were so spoiled to do? The Palestinians and the Arab Israelis are starting, everybody are upset, everybody felt what happened in 2020 and starting to purge, I would call it, the energy out. we are going to see anarchism in many places of the world, because Pisces is also ruling of crimes and jails. But what we are now seeing in Israel is fascinating. At the beginning of the crisis in 2020, and until not long ago, police were abusing, punishing, fighting, violent against people that are not going with a mask. And we saw it in many other countries as well. Suddenly, with this anarchism, this is a fear. And suddenly, who is thinking about the mask, no mask, virus, not virus, this is smoke, this is bomb, this is sirenas all over. I was expected to go a week ago to visit my family, and my brother and sister started to judge me how you are going to come here without the vaccine to do the quarantine in our parents' house, and I meaning to do it from big heart to be with my parents after a long time, and still people are brainwashed, and I just needed to face it from very close distance, how people thinking about how we are protecting our parents. People agree to disconnect from their family because being vaccinated or not vaccinated. I know that I will win with my truth and to make the things on, but the more and more chaos events will come around us. People automatically seeing the what's logic, what's not. So suddenly, in the very crazy nights, last nights, sirenas during all nights, rockets on Tel Aviv, and all those people that were in a quarantine in a home of family suddenly need to gather together in a protected room or in the stairs outside. Everybody understands what is more important. You cannot have two fears on the same time. It's always what's the biggest fear or what's the biggest pain. We were so spoiled, and still millions of people are spoiled and running to take the vaccine, but they succeeded. Look how many millions of people already took it. Proud! We are protected! Protected? Since when government is going to protect you? Is not protecting us. It's just to control us. And all the money that we are paying them, sharing our salaries with government, is for what? For buying more bombs and to protect us that way. The government of Israel is fragile, like in many other countries right now. Division, people are not succeeding to gain a majority to represent their needs, and this is fragility. The astrology of now is telling us that the power coming back to people, and I was speaking about it in the last videos. Only if you will dare to give a kick in the old door, suddenly you will see that is not responding as you thought. It's weaker. Now it's the turn of Uranus to square Saturn. So people together have more control on the stupid order, and more we will get in chaos. We will have chaos. We will have extra ability to know how to protect ourselves and to break the stupid rules and to prioritize differently the human rights. And if people won't do this, it will be event, and it's expected in the world to happen events to create chaos. Imagine earthquake, imagine tsunami, imagine whatever explosion happening. And it's starting right now with shortages of gas, of gasoline. And soon, with next month, June 2021, Mercury retrograde, eclipse season, Saturn retrograde, Jupiter retrograde. It's messy, and it's very easy to deceive people with whatever, even with the story of war and fear of death. But because Uranus in the background is squaring Saturn, is a sort of an opportunity for people to get free or to create a new structure. This summer is the summer of people, and it will come as anarchism, even just to create the smoke. Also, to speak about the crypto, which is the decentralized solution. A lot of people are falling back over and over to the fantasy, to the illusion, how much Bitcoin worth. First of all, forgetting that this is many other coins out there that are not just coins. Those are projects that are creating and preparing a new future for humanity in a new fair way. And it's demanding some knowledge of technology. So it seems that a lot of institutions already bought Bitcoin that is limited supply, like all other cryptographic coins, limited supply. But the eyes are on Bitcoin. You need to see in your portfolio not how much your portfolio value in dollars, but how many Bitcoin you gain, because the altcoins are rising much beyond the velocity of Bitcoin. You need to know what is your Bitcoin power and not the dollar power. This is a divine opportunity to enable more people to be inside of a future structure